I wanted to get on here and provide some context for the video that you're going to see today. This is the first in a series of videos that I'm creating on creating your own planner. I'm using the acronym CYOP. Since 2015-ish, I've been creating my own planner because any planner I would look for out there just never met the needs that I have. And so I got inspired by all the bullet journaling people were doing and that sort of thing. And so I just started drawing out, hand drawing with a ruler, my own planner every year in a moleskin notebook. So what I'm providing you here in this video this first video is going to be starting the year. So creating a wireframe for a 2020 reflection and a 2021 inspiration, places where we can capture that. Subsequent videos, I'll be getting into how I build out a year at a glance, for example, or a monthly view. I actually have quarterly views or for goal setting. I also have a mid-year review, so I've got a lot of stuff coming. But at the end, the intention is to then do a walkthrough of the planner that I've created for 2021 that's been totally customized and basically hand drawn. The idea here is to, again, there's no frills. It's not going to be artistic. I'm not getting into like super creative colors. It's really a wireframe, a skeleton upon which you can put your own creativity, your own artistic skills, put stickers, whatever, use color. And so to basically take what I'm giving you and like make it way better, because I'm sure there's people out there who can make it way better than I can from a creative perspective. So I will provide information in the description on the tools that I'll be using, but it's really basic and simple. You just need a moleskin notebook of your choice. I will tell you I am using the XXL size, and so if you do a smaller moleskin notebook or similar, you're going to have to like modify the sizing a bit, the scale of what I'm creating, but hopefully this kind of helps inspire you. I'm also so it's moleskin notebook, ruler, pencil, an eraser, and a pen. Like that's all you need to get started if you want to be one of the crazy people that totally creates their planner from scratch because they just can't find the perfect one out there. So if you're like me, listen and see if what I'm doing helps you out for your next planner. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop them in the comments, and I look forward to sharing this information with you. All right, so as I mentioned in this video, I'm going to be building wireframes for 2021 reflection and inspiration. And so remember, this is just basically a skeleton or the bones of the planner. I'm not going to get into any kind of dressing it up with art. It's going to be very, very practical information in this video. So on this page, I want to put my 2020 reflections. You can call it anything you would like. It can be 2020 learnings, 2020 successes, summary. It can be whatever you would like. But what I like to do is create some structure around anything that I might be writing, because it just feels good to me when I start writing in it. I did get a moleskin notebook that has the grid versus the dots just because I thought it might be easier to see on camera. The way I set things up, and you'll be seeing it as I walk through, is I'm counting out squares to get things structured and in a way that is makes sense and actually kind of looks nice. So on this page, I'm going to put the reflections. On this page, I'm going to put the inspiration. And so I'm going to start here by creating a title box. And so what I'm going to be doing is counting out 10 squares. I'm not counting the partial squares at the top or the side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Obviously, I'm using a pencil. I'm going to put a little dot here. And then my box for my title, I would like it to be 17 squares long. So let me count those out. I'm going to put dots there to frame it. I like to leave a lot of space for the words that I'm going to be using. So I tend to make things a little bigger. And obviously I'm doing this with a pencil to start. And there are times, and I'm actually going to do it in this series of video, where I actually will add little like fancy edges. You maybe make you know, take the eraser and make them more edged, you know, so that they look nicer. And what I'm going to do is, in the line that runs in between, I'm going to start my frame for where I plan to put all of my different text, all of my text for the summary or for the end of year reflection. And again, you can use this for something else. You can improve upon it and make it better than the way I've made it. I will not be offended at all. And I'm going to, I think I'm gonna, I'll cut it toward the edge, towards the edge here. And if you have the dotted moleskin notebook, that will be much better, I think, from an artistic perspective, because then you don't have these, you know, kind of harsh squares in here. All right. So that's a very simple wireframe for this page. There will be more complicated ones, I promise. And then what I'll typically do is I will take a marker and I will, and it's difficult for me to get on top of this because of the camera, but I will run over my pencil. And then I'll come back later after the ink has dried, and then I will erase the pencil marks. And for this planner, I'm just, for the sake of the video, I'm using black ink, but I typically will use a color. Actually, I will use green, blue, just to make it different every year. All right, so that's that page. I will come back and erase. For right now, I'll go ahead and I think I'm gonna call this 2020 Reflections. Okay, I'm now gonna move on to the other side. This is where I put some wireframing so that I can capture 2020, or I'm sorry, inspirations for the next year. So this would be 2021 inspirations. And this one's gonna be a little more complicated. I liked leaving this side like really open because there's just so many topic areas that you can get into, and I just wanted this open free space to be writing in. But this side I felt like needed a little more structure, at least that's what I like. So I'm going to now count out again. I'm going to create my title by counting out squares. So here I am doing the 10 squares again, and it puts it almost center. It's pretty close to being center. And then I'm going to count out 17 again. Dot there. And sometimes I just freehand it because why not? see, I'm just curious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 on that side too. So it is pretty centered. This is gonna be my 2021 inspirations. What I'm going to do is, this is gonna evolve before your eyes. I'm going to count down 2 squares. So I have this line here, and I'm also gonna be counting over 2 squares over here. I'm gonna put a little dot here just so I can make sure I'm on the right track. And this is where I'm gonna leave space for the word of the year. A lot of times people like to identify a word for the year. That's what I'll be putting in here. You can put whatever you would like. I'm gonna count out 13 spaces. Here. And so I am creating a title box for my word of the year. This box intentionally is a hair smaller than this other side's gonna be, and I'll show that to you shortly. Jut this out. I come out 2 squares. As you can see, it's not perfect. I tend not to get hung up on stuff like that, but that's why I'm starting with a pencil so I can erase if I'd like to. And then I'm gonna count down 18 squares. That's gonna fill out the length of our box. So there's 18. I'll connect that line to this dot, and then I'm going to count over 17. And that does line up perfectly with this line that I messed up here. Okay. Moving on to the next box. So I'm going to allow for 2 squares to separate these. I'm going to put a little dot here because this is going to start the other side. For this one, I'm going to have 3 squares. 1, 2, 3. Put a little dot. And I'm going to create the title box for this one. And this one is going to be 13. And you can maybe see, I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, but I end up having little dots from counting, and that's why it's good to go back with an eraser. So this is going to be flush with the bottom of this. I'm going to allow for 2 spaces over. I'm going to put a little dot here. And take it to the edge. Excellent. So my intention for this box is to put the quote of the year, an inspiring quote for the year. Next, I'm going to create a box that is lengthwise across the bottom of here, and then I'm going to allow space for free space at the bottom, but you could add another box if you wanted to. So I'm going to start, let's see, we're going to start 1 square down from here, but we're going to I'm going to count over 11 spaces. actually 2 squares, so make sure I'm doing this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So here's 11 in. I'm gonna dot here at the edge, a dot here. Right here is going to begin my title box. And I'm gonna go 1 above and 1 below, 1 line above, 1 below from the dot, so that I have space, 2 cube width space for my title box. And this title box is going to have 14 squares. So put a dot here. Put a dot here. And because I like to start my squares a little bit up, just to make them look a little, my text boxes just a little bit different, I'm gonna start it up here in the middle. And then because I want this box to be a little more long than tall, this one's going to be 9 cubes tall. You can obviously do whatever you want. So if you want to make it the rest of the page, or you want space for another one, or you want to add another 2 like above, you can totally do that. Okay, and then like I said, I'm leaving this for free space. This can be whatever you want, but last year I had actually had a astrological reading, so I made that an astrology box for my 2020 year. And now I'm gonna go back over with my pen just to make it look a little cleaner. So I'm going to write 2021 inspiration. And here I'm going to do my word. My word of the year. My quote of the year. And I'm honestly not sure what I'm gonna do with this yet, but if you come back for the video at the end where I walk through this entire planner, I will have decided what I'm gonna put in there. All right, so I hope this little video was helpful and instructive. If you have any comments or questions, please drop them in the comments. Thank you so much.